Welcome back to the channel. Welcome. Welcome back to the channel. We've been asked by a few people what we need to do before we go to Europe. Now we're off for a cheeky little trip to northern Spain, to the Pyrenees. We're not sure where we're going, what we're going to do, how we're going to get there. We're just going to end up there, aren't we?
Yeah.
But there are a few things you need to do before you set off.
There's a perfect park up on Search for Sites. It's free and just what you need to get your head down for a few hours before an early crossing.
So we're on our way to the tunnel now. Last night we travelled down to Folkestone, found a cheeky little park up so we could be close by because it's a 5:50 crossing. We need to be there an hour before, but we like to give ourselves a bit more time than that. So we didn't want to travel from home this morning. And we found a good one last night actually, didn't we?
Yep, so it's on Search for Sites.
Yep, and that means we're actually only around the corner now, so we're going to crack on and head to the tunnel. Whichever direction you arrive from, you'll end up on the same approach road. Just remember, keep right, unless of course you're a lorry, in which case keep left, and it'll take you to the terminal.
As you approach the first check-in, just look up at the gantry for the green arrows to show which lanes are open. Have your tunnel booking details to hand. They'll read your registration number plate automatically and just want to confirm a few things with you. They'll issue you with a ticket to hang in your windscreen. Follow the signs through to the parking area, where you can access food, drink and duty free. Police checkpoint, they checked our passports, asked us where we were going and how long for.
Then it was just another quick check of the passports at passport control.
At the next checkpoint, they'll divert you over to the left-hand side, and that's where they check that your gas has been turned off. If you've got an underslung tank, they'll have to take your word for it, but if you've got regular tanks on the side, they'll ask you to lift up your flap and check that your nozzle's turned all the way off. After you've had your gas checked, you come out to the right hand side. They'll usually tell you which lane to get into to go through French passport control. Right, we're through passport control. We've got our first stamp in our passports since the new rules. My first stamp in my brand new passport at all, actually. Once you're through French passport control, keep to the left if your vehicle is more than 1.85 metres high. You'll need to follow the left-hand lane for high-sided vehicles.
You'll then arrive at the last vehicle checkpoint where they'll tell you which lane to go in, ready to board. Morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Good.
Had a good night.
You finishing soon, are you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yay.
no wonder you're all right then.
Lane number 14.
Lovely, thank you so
14,
much.
thank you.
Cheers.
You'll wait in this holding area until it's time to go and they'll let you through. Just filter in, follow the road round, you can't go wrong, and then you'll board the train. They'll help you park up and make sure you're packed in like sardines to maximise the number of vehicles on board. Then they shut the doors between the carriages, the shutters come down, they'll put chocks under the lead vehicle and make sure you put your vehicle in first gear, obviously handbrake on, and keep your windows slightly down as well. Then it's time just to listen out for your security announcements, make sure you know what to do in case of an emergency.
When the train sets off, in only a few minutes, you'll be underground. About half an hour later, voila, you're in France.
So we've had a lot of questions about what you need to do in order to travel to Europe, and if it's your first time it can be quite nerve-wracking. Always check the government website for the latest advice. It changes all the time. Although we're in a bit of a freer period than we were this time last year, there are still some regulations to follow, and I would always rather be safe than sorry. So we are not experts at all, so everything that we talk about in this video is purely our own experience, our own research, and travelling in 2022 in June, we travelled successfully and had no problems at all. So So the next essential when travelling to a European country is to make sure that you've got an old EHIC card, if that hasn't quite run out yet for you, or you've got the new GHIC card. So it's the Global Health Insurance Card. The old EHIC was the European one, but obviously we're not part of Europe anymore, so we now have GHIC cards. They're completely free to apply for, so if you use the link that I'll pop in the description, it'll take you straight to the government site. Don't use Google and end up on a site that's going to charge you. You don't pay for it. You don't need to pay for it at all. There are sites that will try and charge you, but do not pay for a GHIC card. You don't need to. Go to the government website, apply. You'll need a few of your details to type in to apply for it. And what the GHIC card does, it gives you access to state healthcare for a reduced cost or sometimes for free in certain European countries. So check the fine print of it. It is not a replacement for your travel insurance, okay? So still make sure that you've got European travel insurance that covers you sufficiently for your requirements in the countries that you're going to. But I would also recommend having your GHIC card on you at all times when you're in Europe as well, as a just in case. As I say, I'm always work on the worst case scenario and cover all bases. Right, I'm going to talk about the C word, the COVID word. So at the time that we travelled, we had to upload a proof of vaccination to the Eurotunnel website before we travelled. So that's absolutely fine because we are fully vaccinated, so that was easy to do. We just downloaded it from the NHS website. We printed out a hard copy. We saved a digital copy into the wallets on our phones. We emailed each other a copy as well. And we uploaded it onto the Eurotunnel website before travel. So we were absolutely covered on all bases. Now in France at the moment, they have relaxed a lot of their restrictions. However, according to the French Embassy website, as of today, we're now into July and we're back home. But as of today, you do need to be fully vaccinated before you enter France. You don't need to have a negative test. And if you are unvaccinated, then there are testing rules that you have to follow. Now, there's no point me listing what they are today because they'll probably change this time next week. So check out the French Embassy website for all of the latest COVID travel restrictions. So when we went, all we needed to do, as I say, was upload our proof of vaccination to the Eurotunnel website. Then at no point were we asked for them when we crossed over because they already had our details when we checked in at the tunnel. You don't need them for restaurants and sort of shopping centres and things like that anymore in France. The only place that you might be asked to wear a face covering still is, but not need a vaccination pass, but a face covering is in a hospital or on public transport. So you may well still need to wear a face mask on those places. So as I say, it could change at any moment. So check the website for the current advice. Right, now I'm going to turn to some of the things that you need for your motorhome and for driving in France. According to the AA website, you no longer need a green card to drive through Europe. Okay, so you don't need a green card, which is good because I've never had one. You do need your certificate to show your V5, basically your logbook in old money. We take the original and we also take a copy, and we make sure we've got a scanned copy in the cloud somewhere as well. You need your certificate of motor insurance as well. We have a printed copy. Guess what? We email ourselves a copy as well, so we've got one on the cloud. And you do also need your full driving licence as well. So just the card version will do, but obviously you need that with you as well at all times. So as I've already mentioned, you should have travel insurance and keep those documents easily to hand. And also breakdown cover as well. So you may have some breakdown cover with your motor insurance, but it's not necessarily going to cover you in Europe. So double check that it covers you in Europe. And just to be sure as well, if you have an MOT certificate, you might want to keep that with your V5 logbook as well, just in case. Because if you don't have all of your documents to hand and in order and the police ask for it, then they might not be very friendly. So just take everything just in case. So the next thing that you need to check is that you've got a UK sticker on the back of your vehicle. Now, I know this one can be a bit of a bone of contention. So again, I'm going to refer to the AA website and I'm going to read you exactly what the website says about this matter. So, UK sticker. On the 28th of September 2021, the GB sticker requirement was changed to a UK sticker. This means that the GB stickers are no longer valid. If your number plate has a Union flag with UK under it on a blue background or green for electric vehicles, then you can drive in Europe. If not, you will need a UK sticker. So basically, if you've got something that looks like this on your number plate at the back, you're good to go. If you haven't, you're going to need a separate UK sticker. You can get those kind of oval ones, you can get metallic ones that just sort of lock on, but most motorhomes are plastic at the back there, so you're going to need some sort of UK sticker. The next thing that you need to travel safely in France, and if you get stopped you will be fined if you cannot provide a reflective high-vis jacket. Not just one, but one for every single passenger in your motorhome. They also need to be easily accessible from within the vehicle, so you can't put them in your boot, you can't put them tucked away somewhere. They need to be easily accessible. So we just tuck ours in the side pockets of the van. So we've got one each. So the next thing that you must carry is a warning triangle as well. So one of those little portable warning triangles. So if you break down, you can put that obviously behind your vehicle to alert of the danger ahead. We actually travel with 2, just to be sure. The next thing for travelling in anywhere in Europe where they drive on the right hand side of the road is your headlight beam deflectors. So really easily available on Amazon or in Halfords or anywhere like that. Just easy to peel on, stick on, beam bender, so you're not dazzling people with the headlights. The next thing you might want to order in advance, just to be careful, is the Crete Air stickers. So basically France and lots of European countries have low emission zones, just like we do. And these are growing all the time. So we didn't plan to go near any big cities, but you never know. If you end up with something wrong with the van and it has to go in to be looked at and serviced, you might have had to go into a city you hadn't planned on. So for that reason, I ordered ahead the Crete Air sticker suitable for our van, which was the yellow one, because we're a Euro 6 engine. You can order it really simply online, and again I'll drop the correct link in the description so you don't get charged an additional admin fee. I think it comes to about £3.60, and then that's yours for the sticker for life. So each country does their own stickers. So for France it's the Crete Air stickers, and as I say, it's £3.60 there and thereabouts to get it posted out to you. Allow a couple of weeks at least before you travel to get that ordered. But once you've got it, stick it in your window and it's done. The next thing that I'm going to talk about is snow tyres. Now, we were heading off to Spain in June, but we were going to the Pyrenees, and the Pyrenees still has snow on it, trust me. So at certain times of year, you are required to either have snow tyres or carry snow chains. So check the local region that you're planning to go to before you travel to make sure that you've got the right tyres or the right equipment on board. A couple of other bits just to think about. A spare bulb kit used to be mandatory, I believe, but now it's just recommended, but we took one anyway. The same with a breathalyzer test. It used to be the law, and I think it still technically is the law, but they decided that it's not going to be enforced anymore. So again, we just carry a breathalyzer test, just to be sure. We'd rather that than get fined. And the other one is a first aid kit as well. That's something that used to be mentioned. I can't find it on the RAC or the AA websites currently for driving in France, but we always have a really well stocked first aid kit. I've got everything in there and the kitchen sink. So make sure you've got the basic bandages and so on in there. Another quite interesting fact about France is that you are not allowed to have any device in your vehicle that warns of speed cameras or speed camera detection devices. So make sure on your sat nav you turn off the facility that beeps when there's a speed camera ahead, because if you get stopped and you get clocked as having that, you can get a big fine. So they take speeding very seriously. So one final thing to think about in terms of driving is your vehicle weight. So most motorhomes tend to be up to or just under 3.5 tonne. If you exceed 3.5 tonne, like we do, because we are 5 tonne in this new van, then you will need Angle Mort stickers. Angles Mort stickers. I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it properly in French. So they're those beautiful yellow rectangles that you have to stick on both of your cab doors and at the rear of your vehicle. They come with instructions as to where exactly you have to place them. But, you know, again, there's a lot of discussion over whether you should or whether you shouldn't, whether you need them or not. I would always rather go with being safe than sorry, cover myself, make sure I'm not breaking any local laws. They only cost a few pounds, and I'm respecting the rules of the country. So we do put our Angles Mort stickers on when we go to France. Also, bear in mind that you are driving on the right. In France, sometimes they still do the whole priority to the right system as well, so people can just pull out from any direction. And also it's illegal to wear headphones or earphones while you're travelling. And of course, the same as in the UK, you must wear a seatbelt where they are fitted as well, and you could get an on-the-spot fine for not doing so. So stay safe. A couple of other watch outs for France and Spain is of course the toll roads. So the toll roads can be expensive, particularly in France, but they do shave quite a deal of time off your journey if you're going from the top to the bottom like we are. So you can get a toll tag, which I would recommend, and it's something that I wish that we'd got. I was going to get it and Ricky was like, no, we're not going to use too many toll roads, and in the end we did. So I wish that we'd got a toll tag, and again I'll put a link in the description to one example of where you can get a toll tag, and that just sits in your window, your front window, so you can just sail straight through the tag lane, and it will go blip and it'll just let you through, so you won't have to queue. And it will know your vehicle, so it'll charge you correctly. Now, because we're in a tag axle vehicle, unfortunately, we got charged a higher rate than we probably should have done. We managed to save it one time because there was an actual person in the booth. So we managed to save ourselves about 20 euros because it was quite a long toll route. But we really messed up there. So if we'd got the toll tag beforehand, we would have been charged correctly. So definitely worth looking into. So in terms of customs, when you go through the Eurotunnel, you firstly check in, then you go through British passport, then you go through British passport control, then you go through the French passport control, then you get asked to check if your gas is off. Now, you drive sort of past the customs area and it's very rare that you get pulled in. However, if you do, when you enter France, you are not allowed to take any meat or dairy products. So that means that you technically shouldn't have any milk in your fridge, no sausages, no bacon, no yogurt, nothing that's made with dairy or meat. Now, this is not checked regularly, but that doesn't mean to say that it's okay. So the law is now different. Now we've left the EU, so you cannot legally take in dairy or meat products over to France. And last but not least, they could, in theory, ask you to prove your funds as well. So depending on if you've got where you're staying and if you've got accommodation booked and paid for, in our case we didn't, so we needed to sort of bear in mind that if stopped either at customs or by the police when we're out there, we needed to be able to show proof of funds. Now, we have banking online on our phones, so that's fine. We could have accessed our banking that way to show them, but just bear that in mind. And again, I'll put a link in the description as to where to find out what sort of amount of money, because it varies from about 35 euros a day up to 130 euros a day. But as I say, it's just proof of funds, just so that they know that you're not intending to stay and not be able to get back. So another topic that we get asked about is money. How did we pay for our fuel? Well, we've travelled abroad a number of times over the years and tried lots of different things, and we always take a bit of cash with us, because you never know, you might just end up in the middle of nowhere. And some countries are funny. We couldn't believe how in Germany last year, loads of places just took cash still. Lots and lots of places were only dealing in cash. Even campsites wanted cash. And we were caught short a little bit. We hadn't got enough euros in cash. So we always have a bit of cash with us. Not too much. Obviously, you don't want to leave yourself vulnerable. We do also have a Revolut card, but I actually don't think that this is particularly fantastic, because you still get charged when you withdraw cash using this card. Now, my bank account actually charges me a similar transaction fee, if not less. So not really any point having this. And with this one, you actually have to then transfer your funds over. I know you can transfer them between different currencies, but if you're in Europe, it's just euros. So there's really no benefit. So I actually stopped using the Revolut card. And the reason being is we also just shop around. We use sort of Compare the Market or, Money Supermarket, any comparison websites to see which credit card is doing a commission-free service. So what we do is we apply, and at the moment we've just got a Halifax card currently. And this doesn't charge any commission when you use this abroad. So basically we just pay for this anywhere that they'll take the MasterCard. There is again discussion about some countries not taking Visa or not taking MasterCard or vice versa. So you might want to take one of each. But this card is purely used when we go on holiday. We didn't have any problems using this anywhere in France or Spain. So we bought all of our fuel on this, no problem at all. And we paid for, you know, other goods and services and in shops and supermarkets and so on this. Not a problem at all. But no charges for using this. And then, of course, the extra added benefit is that you don't have to pay it straight away. So you've got the bill comes in maybe a month later and then you pay it off. So it gives me a bit of time rather than faffing about and adding money onto my Revolut card and moving it back and forth, which is my idea of, well, a bit of a headache, not a holiday. So we don't travel with animals. We don't have, unfortunately, any dogs anymore. There are lots of other channels that have got great information out there about travelling with pets. So Camper Vibe have put out a video recently about travelling over to Europe with their dog and their cat, so AJ and Summer. The Slaws as well, they've done an extensive video on travelling to Europe with their 2 dogs, so loads of information out there. But again, just check the government website for the very, very latest information.